Hi there, this is Ranjit. I'm happy to welcome all to yet another video presentation on topic problems in shear force and bending moment diagram. Once again, this is under the subject strength of materials for mechanical engineers. So in this video, today we are going to see a problem how to draw a shear force and bending moment diagram for a simply supported beam which carries 2-point load. So this is the problem that we have taken to solve in this today's video. So you can see here we have a beam which is simply supported on either ends, having 2-point loads 15 kilonewton and 6 kilonewton. This 15 kilonewton is placed at a distance of 2 meter from left support, and the 6 kilonewton is placed at a distance of 2 meters from the right support. These two loads are separated by a distance 2 meters, so the total length of the beam is 6 meters. So this is the problem we have taken as a sample to understand how to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. So as I told you earlier in introduction video about the support reactions, here we have a pinned support. So it permits only the rotational movement of the beam. It does not allow it to move in horizontal or either in vertical direction. So we are having two reaction forces, horizontal and vertical, right? Here in this case we are having a roller support where it allows horizontal movement, rotational movement, but it restricts the vertical movement. So we have a reaction force only in the vertical direction, that is RB, right? So this is the free body diagram. So I told you 3 steps. First step is to draw the free body diagram that we have drawn. See here with horizontal support reaction, vertical support reaction, and this side it carries only vertical support reaction, right? Now moving on to the next step. Second step as per our procedure is to find out the reaction forces, the magnitude of the reaction forces. Here the loads are given the magnitude, one is 15 kilonewton, other one is 6 kilonewton. We are supposed to find out the reaction forces. This is where we are going to apply the equilibrium conditions, right? So what is the condition? Sum of all the vertical forces is equal to 0. So applying that, we are going to form an equation, right? So RA plus RB is equal to 15 plus 6. RA vertical force, RB summing up of two forces should be equal to 15 plus 6 kilonewton. That is what we have written here. RA plus RB is equal to 15 plus 6. That is RA plus RB is equal to 21 kilonewton. Right? Horizontal force HA is equal to 0. We don't have any other horizontal forces here. We have only this reaction support reaction force of horizontal HA. We don't have any other horizontal forces here. So HA is equal to 0. Obviously, it is cancelled out. HA is equal to 0. Now we are in need of finding out this RA and RB. We are in need of finding out this RA and RB. For that, we are going to use the second equilibrium condition, that taking moment about any point, taking moment about either A or B. In this case, we are going to take moment about B and substituting it to equal to 0. Taking moment about B. These things you would have already studied in engineering mechanics very well, right? So for finding out moment, what do we need? We need a force and a distance, right? So each and every force we are supposed to find the moment about this point B, right? So we start from this side, left side. We are starting from the left side, right? Left to right. We are going to travel from left to right. So RA, the total distance is 6. So to reach the point B, it has to travel a distance of 6. So RA into 6. So that we have written here, RA into 6. Next, this is RA into 6 is clockwise direction. This RA into 6 is making a clockwise direction. So clockwise direction according to the condition, that is traveling from left side to right side, clockwise is positive. Hope you remember, right? See, clockwise is positive. Traveling from left to right of the beam, clockwise is positive, anti-clockwise is negative, right? Okay. Now RA into 6 positive. Now 15 into, now this taking this 15 to point B. So 15 into the distance is 4. It has to travel a distance of 4. So 15 kilonewton into 4. This, since this is anti-clockwise direction, this is making a anti-clockwise direction. It is negative, right? This 15 is going to take a anti-clockwise direction. This RA took a clockwise direction, right? So this 15 into 4, that is what we have written here. 15 into 4. First one is RA into 6 minus 15 into 4. Again this is going to make a anti-clockwise rotation, right? So 6 kilonewton into distance is 2. Distance is 2. This would have made a distance of 4, and this RA made a distance of 6, right? Hope you understood. So 6 into 2, that is what we have written here. So solving this, RA into 6, taking this 15 into 4 and 6 into 2 on the other side, we get 15 into 4 and 6 into 2. So totally RA into 6 is equal to 72. That will get you RA is equal to 12, right? Now substituting this RA here in this equation, substituting RA here, if you substitute RA here 12, you substitute this RA 12, so taking on the other side 21 minus 12 will give you 9, right? RB. So from this we got RA and RB. Both RA and RB is determined. Now moving on to the next. So substitute that value. We got RA as 12 kilonewton and RB as 9 kilonewton. Now with this we have all the information. Now we are supposed to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. We are supposed to determine shear force and bending moment diagram at each and every point on the beam. We have 4 points: point A, point B, point C and point D. In each of these points we are supposed to find out the shear force and bending moment, right? Okay. Now for drawing the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram, first draw the beam, draw all the information, write all the information. Now drop a dotted line from each point. Draw dotted line from each point like this, right? From point A, from point C and point D and point B, right? Drop a dotted line. Now draw a reference line for shear force and leave some gap and draw a reference line for bending moment. here we are going to draw the shear force diagram, and here we are going to draw the bending moment diagram. So each one should have a reference line or zero line or axis line. Any way you can call it. You can call it in any way. Zero line or reference line or axis line. Right? Hope you understood the procedure. How we are going to start drawing the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram. Right? Now, to begin with, we are supposed to find out shear force and bending moment at each and every point, as I told you. Now, first one, finding out shear force at A. Shear force at A. Shear force at A is 12 kilonewton. How we got this 12 kilonewton? Shear force at A is 12 kilonewton. How this is plus 12 kilonewton? As you can see, we are traveling from this end, left hand side to right hand side, left end to right end, right? Okay, we are supposed to find out the shear force at A. How it is plus 12 kilonewton? We know that traveling from, wait, 1 minute, that is traveling from, we are traveling from left to right, we are traveling from left to right. So while traveling from left to right, the upward force is positive force. So this is a upward force. So it is plus 12 kilonewton. Hope you understood, right? Okay. Now, so we have drawn 12 kilonewton. It is an approximate scale. You can make it, right? 12 kilonewton, right? 12 kilonewton we have drawn. This is the first step. This is the first step. I am drawing by the side of it, right? It is 12 kilonewton, right? 12. Okay. Now, shear force from A to C. From A to C. I have already taught you in the video which is carrying an information about the relation between the rate of loading, shear force and bending moment. In that I gave you three conditions. Condition number 1 was your point load which is having zero rate of loading. Here between this point A and point C there is no load. Between this point A and point C there is no load. So your shear force is going to be a straight line, horizontal straight line of same magnitude. The 12 is going to remain as same. Hope you remember that. Okay. If I want to trace back, I can go back to that particular slide which will give you an additional information. The C condition 1, rate of loading is 0. Shear force should be a straight line, horizontal. There is no rate of loading between these two loads. There is no rate of loading between these two loads. So the shear force should be a straight line, horizontal, right? Okay. Now coming back to the problem. Okay, we have drawn up to this, right? Now shear force at C. Shear force at C. We will see in that shear force at C. We will see in the next slide, right? We have stopped up to this point, A to C. Step 1, shear force at A and shear force at shear force at A and shear force from A to C. We have drawn up to this. We have started from this point and drawn up to this, right? Now bending moment. How about the bending moment? Bending moment at A is equal to 0. Why? What is the reason? Always support will carry 0 bending moment. Support will carry 0 bending moment. there is no possibility of bending moment happening here, right? Are you sure? Right. There is no possibility of bending moment happening here. We have the force, but we don't have the distance, right? Distance is 0. So force into 0 is 0. So bending moment at A and bending moment at B is always 0, right? Now, next, shear force at A is 12. We saw that. Shear force at from A to C, we saw. Shear force at C. Shear force at C is equal to, carry that previous 12 here, minus 15. We have a point load here, it is minus 15. We are supposed to add the loads as we go along the beam. We started from here, as we go along the beam from left to right, we are supposed to add the loads, right? 12, carry the 12 from the previous step, here minus 15. How minus? You can see here that downward force is always negative force. So this is a downward force, 15 is a downward force, so it is a negative. So minus 12 minus 15, the end result is minus 3 kilonewton. Minus 3 kilonewton. How you are going to draw that here? I told you this is a reference line or the axis line, above which is positive, and below it is negative, right? Above it is positive, below it is negative. This is a neutral of 0, right? This is neutral of 0. Now we got shear force at C to be minus 3. So this 12 should travel from here to here, minus 3. It is traveling from here to here. 12 to 3, from 0, 3, right? Minus 3. Okay. Now, how about the bending moment at C? Bending moment at C. Bending moment at C is 24. How do you get that? Right? So, bending moment at C is 12 into 2. 12 into 2. This force 12 into distance 2. So, it is traveling from here to here. We are supposed to add up the bending moment also as we go along the beam. So, 12 kilonewton into distance 2. How this is positive? How this is positive? This is a clockwise bending moment. So as we know that clockwise is positive. Clockwise bending moment is positive, right? So hence it is 24. Clockwise bending moment is positive and it is 24. Why we have drawn an inclined line? Why we have drawn an inclined line? Do you remember that? We have already seen why we have drawn an inclined line. If you are not, I will trace you back to that particular area. See, again there is no rate of loading between 2 points. At that condition, bending moment should be a linear straight line. Linear straight line in the sense it is a inclined line, right? Hope you remember that. Okay. Okay, that's why we have drawn a inclined line, linear straight line. No rate of loading between these 2 points A and C. We have 1 point load, we have 1 point load. No rate of loading between these 2 points. So we are drawing a inclined line. I hope it is clear. Now moving on to the next step. Shear force at A we saw, shear force at C saw, shear force at C also we drawn, right? Now shear force from C to D. Shear force from C to D. So this is A, C, D, and this is B, right? A, CDB. Between C and D there is no rate of loading. Between C and D there is no rate of loading. So we follow the procedure of shear force should be a straight horizontal line. So this minus 3 is carried along in a straight line to point D. Okay, that step is over. Now what is shear force at D? Shear force at D, starting from here, 12, we are supposed to find out the bending moment at this point D, starting from the left end, right? So 12 kilonewton into distance 4, right? 12 kilonewton into distance 4, right? Next 15 kilonewton into distance 2, 15 kilonewton into distance 2. This is anti-clockwise, this is clockwise. Clockwise is positive, anti-clockwise is negative. So minus 15 into 2, that will result you in the value of 18 kilonewton. See, this is 18 kilonewton. Now next step, right? So we are supposed to know the shear force at D. We saw from C to D. Now we are supposed to find out the shear force at D, right? So carry that 3 kilonewton in the previous step, put it here, and we have to add up the load that is available at the point D. Load available at the point D. Now adding this load, this is a downward direction force. So downward direction is negative. So minus 6. So minus 3 minus 6 will give you minus 9. So extend this line slightly downwards to the place of 9. So this is 3, this is 9, approximation only. We are not drawing to the scale, just an approximate diagram, right? So it forms 9, right? Okay. What is the next step? We are going to complete the diagram now. Now shear force from D to B. Shear force from D to B. Again, this is point D and this is point B. Between point D and point B there is no load, rate of loading. So it should be a linear straight line, it should be a horizontal straight line. So carrying this 9 to here, right? Minus 9. It is minus 9, right? So minus 9 and plus 9 will get you to 0. So we have achieved the equilibrium condition. We have achieved the equilibrium condition. As I told you, the internal forces, see, it creates the internal forces, right? We saw in the introduction. Internal forces, internal vertical force and the internal bending moment. This internal vertical force and the internal bending moment should match up the external forces. It should form a equilibrium condition, right? So here it ends up with plus 9 and here it is minus 9. Plus 9 minus 9 will get you to 0. So we start from 0 and end up at 0. And also at each and every point the internal forces should match up the external forces such that it always remains in a equilibrium condition, right? Okay. Now as we know that bending moment at B is 0. As I told you, always the supports will carry no bending moment. Supports will carry no bending moment. So bending moment is 0 at the support. So join that 18 to 0. Right? Since this falls in the condition of condition 1, that is no rate of loading between two point loads. No rate of loading between two point loads. So shear force should be horizontal lines and bending moment should be linearly inclined lines, linearly inclined lines. So this is how we are supposed to draw shear force and bending moment diagram. This portion denotes positive and this entire portion denotes negative. The portion which is available above the axis line is positive, the portion which is available below the axis line is negative. This entire bending moment diagram falls under the positive side, falls on the positive side. Okay, so this is how the shear force and bending moment diagram should be drawn, and this is the procedure how we are supposed to go with, right? So if you start from the left hand side and end up at the right hand side, you are supposed to follow this. If you are starting, you can also do starting from the right to left. This entire thing will be ulta. This downward force will become positive, upward force will become negative, clockwise become negative, and anti-clockwise will become positive. You can either travel from the left hand side to the right hand side or from the right hand side to the left hand side. Both the procedure are same. For both the condition, procedure is same and you will get the same answer. There will not be any change. You can do in either format. So we will meet up in the next video with a different kind of loading. Here we saw 2 point loads. Hope in the next problem we'll see a different kind of load, maybe with an UDL and a point load, or only with an UDL. Okay, until then it's bye. Thank you.